Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to C.A.R. Entertainment. I'm your host Dylan Hamilton today, guys, and we are going to be moving on with some A21 digital technology. Today we're going to be talking about natural language and voice recognition, guys. It'll be the last DT video for a little while until I cover more of the specification, and then I can bring out more of these videos for you. But without further ado, let's get straight into natural language and voice recognition. So NLP and A.S.R., what do they stand for? Well, NLP is natural language processing and A.S.R. is automatic speech recognition. And what are they exactly? Well, NLP is the ability of a machine to analyze and understand and generate human speech, whereas A.S.R. forms part of the NLP process where speech recognition is accepted as a spoken word, and then it converts this into text on a computer. So it's basically just the first part where it takes speech and then it converts it into text. The advantage of using A.S.R. is that the user is not doesn't need to be trained to use the interface, because obviously text comes up. It has more flexibility than a dialogue interface, and it's suitable for physically handicapped people. A.S.R. disadvantage is that reliability has the interface will only respond to programmed commands. It's complexly programmed, so it's unsuitable to other interfaces, and it's not widely available as there's other interfaces that are superior. Furthermore, the voice interface needs training, so the software will only recognize what the user is saying. So if it doesn't understand the accent, for example. We're going to move on now into some applications where NLP is commonly used, such as spam filters, where they will extract the meaning from text and identify if it's an unwanted email. When answering questions, they will extract the meaning and the appropriate answer will be provided, and just extracting information in general. So you can extract relevant information to evaluate stock market patterns, for example, and this will help you determine if the client should buy, sell, or hold on to their current stocks. So how essentially does NLP work then? Let's go through it. Well, it's difficult to understand as a whole sentence, as they may have a double meaning, and therefore the applications must understand the context. And they do this by using the following terms. Initially, there's morphology, which is how words are formed and the relationship with other words. Use syntax, which is how words and sentences are then put together. Semantics, which is the meaning of words and the groups of words. Pragmatics, which is the context of these spoken expressions. And finally, phonology, which is the sounds associated with the spoken language. So, POS, parse trees, and semantics. And how are these used? Well, you use part of speech tagging, or POS, and this is whenever you tag words with multiple meanings. You will first determine the highest occurring meaning to understand its function, and using the other words around it. Parse trees will help derive you from syntax, as they will use tree diagrams to break a sentence down into phrases, and this dividing of the sentence into phrases is known as parsing. Semantics is used, and this involves the tagging and syntactical analysis to determine if the words have the same meaning, and this stage processes words appearing before and after. So this is a lot like part of speech, where you're having other words around it. So, moving on then to voice recognition, always known as VR, don't get it confused with virtual reality. It is the combination of hardware and software systems with the ability to decode a spoken command, operate devices, or execute commands without the need to use peripheral devices. The first stage is to input and the digitization of spoken words into VR software, where a sound card will be required with a microphone or a headset. Applications use hardware devices and others like applications like a smartphone will have the necessary hardware built. And so how does a computer recognize speech then? Well, they'll do it by pattern matching, which is whenever words are spoken and they're recognized in their entirety. So the computer will analyze the input and try and match it with a list of potential sound patterns which represent each of the available answers. You'll have pattern and feature analysis, which is whenever the spoken input is recorded by a microphone and then digitized using ADC, analog to digital converter, or analog to dialogue converter, or analog to digital converter, where the digital data is analyzed and compared to a stored dictionary, and it is used to identify what the user said. You can also use statistical analysis, which is applying rules of grammar to help predict words to support speech recognition, and you have artificial neural networks, or ANN, which we've talked about in our neural networks video. So moving on then, we're just going to finish off with some advantages and disadvantages of natural language processing. Essentially, there's no training required. It increases the accessibility of the application. It's free to users to complete all our tasks. And natural language disadvantage is that not all commands are going to be recognized, and the applications are complex to create, and therefore they're quite expensive. The voice recognition advantages is that there's no training required as well. You have accurate spelling, and it's the effective output for those with limited mobility. But its disadvantage is that it's prone to interference. The user will need to speak slower and louder for it to be recognized, and it only recognizes a range of voices. Thank you for watching the video. I've been Dylan Hamilton from C.A.R. Entertainment, and I will see you next time.